Page 89, Mystic Mood. On page 88, they talk about triads. Tri means three. A triad is simply a three-note chord. Any three-note chord in any arrangement. Most of the time you'll see them like here where they're all an interval of a third. You have an interval of a third and another interval of a third here and put them together. You got three notes. That makes a triad. But if I take these note names and I put them somewhere else, let's say I put the C here, put the G here, I will leave the E here, it's still a triad. It's a three-note chord. It's just, it's range different. All right. So here, in the music, when it's like this, it's easy because they're all on lines or they're all on spaces, and you'll see it and you'll just think of one thing. Oh, it's a chord. Yeah. Yeah, I just got to figure out which note is which. Find one of the notes and you make it from there. Usually go with the bottom note, whatever it is. Remember, music is built from the bottom up. Playing them, there are different ways of fingering triads. A lot of times we just use 1, 3, 5 here, and we just go up. Whatever, slowly, of course. That's basically how it's done. I'll talk more about the technique of playing these in the pieces. Let's talk this mood, see what's happening over here. Mystic mood. I look it over, it's 3 lines long, treble, bass, clef, 4/4 time signature. I see quarter notes and eighth notes and half notes. And there's some sharps, at least one sharp in there, so we're going to have at least one black key. The hands pretty much are playing one hand at a time, so I'm going to take both hands together here. The right hand starts with 5th finger here. That puts the hand here. The left hand has A here, so we're in A position here. At 1 and 2 and, because the eighth notes, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2. See, on this 3 notes, you're just lowering the whole hand down. Try and listen carefully and get all those notes down at the same time. It's hard to do. I'm still struggling with it. But I've heard professionals playing, and they don't always get the notes down at the same time either. It is tricky. You want to stay relaxed. Let's wrist claps a little bit, but you're just lowering the weight, and all 3 fingers are down. It's just putting the weight on all 3 fingers at one time. Go slow and yeah, work on that. Anyway, going on, measure 3, they want here. This is kind of beginner music, and in beginner music, we like to keep you in a nice, neat 5-finger position. But we've already started crawling out of that a little bit, crawling around. And this business of going from measure 2 to 3, from here to here, is not a real good move. And I would prefer just not even bother with it. I mean, it keeps you in this 5-finger position, and if that's what your teacher wants you to do, by all means, do it. But I'm going to use measure 2, I'm here, and then measure 3, I'm just going to stay there. But then for the B, rather than 2, I'm going to reach down and use 3. Now I've changed. I just walk down. And you need to be able to do that even with small hands. You should be able to reach this between fingers 2 and 3. So it's here. Measure 5, same thing. 4, and then reach down. And then going on, same thing. Reach down. And same thing, reach down. Now you have a whole measure rest there at the end. Now you got plenty of time to just come down. Or if you'd like, you can just stay there. I will probably just stay there. Since I don't need the C, I can just stay there. I can get the last line after the first note here. I get the rest of the line in this position. So we kind of came down the keyboard. Yeah. Anyway, back up to the top of the second measure. And then while you're resting in the left hand, you can move it down. You can just reach down. And each time, I'm just going to move the left hand down because I got plenty of rests. I got plenty of time to do that. The last measure here. 4 notes down at the same time. You got a chord here and that. Okay. So once I get that notes and the rhythms worked out, then I'll go back over maybe a line at a time or so and get rid of any hesitations. And it would be very helpful if you could actually get to where you can play this without looking at the keyboard. Now that's a challenge here because we're moving. I'm going here, you gotta reach down. Can you feel this? Each time, and the left hand, can you feel going down one note without looking? It will help you if you could. I'm kind of challenge you to try that. If you have to look, you have to look, but try and do what you can without looking. So I go through it maybe a line at a time, whatever, and I get rid of the hesitations. No hesitations. And then I think about the articulation, and this is very connected here. You can lift up. This is how they're getting away with the fingering. Going from measure 2 to 3, you can lift up anyway. For taking a breath, that's how they're doing it. But I want to stay there, so you can still lift up, just using this finger. And we're doing that. These are 2 major phrases. You're lifting up between them. Lift up. Lift up. Then once you can do the articulation, I add the dynamics. MP is the only thing you get until you get the last line. Mezzo piano, sort of soft. It's going to be both hands here. And the last line, now you go to moderately loud, mezzo forte here. And then you have the hairpin at the end to come back down to soft. So the measure 11, you're starting that sort of loud. And then after the first couple of beats, you start getting softer. One beat at a time, softer, softer, soft, softer. And I slowed down. You don't have to slow down. You get softer as you go down. Don't get soft until the half note. And just to make it more challenging for you, in case you're not confused enough, that last measure, I want to hear that note. That's melody. This used to be really light, really soft. I want to hear that. Don't play them the same. Because this 3 notes will drown out 1 note easily. So you get this light. At the same time, if you can. That's hard to do, but I keep challenging you because I know this sort of thing takes time. So we just keep working on it. And who knows, in a month or 2 or a year or 2 or whatever, you'll get the idea. And then I add the speed. And they say slow for them. It's a range. It's a relaxed feeling here, I guess. And then finally the pedal. I've added pedal. And the question is, why? As near as I can tell, it's part of the mystic mood. They want the overtones and all the sounds for the measures that go. Those measures, they want the sounds for those. And at the end, the last one, they want the sound for that. The overtones, and that's why they're doing it. I'm going to push the note down first and then the pedal. The second measure, note first, then the pedal. I'm going to lift the pedal with the hand so I get a little silence to go on. And it's that way throughout. Push the note down. We want to start the sound before we release the overtones, so it kind of grows out there. And it's just a split second after. It's just almost at the same time, but not quite. I tend to want to slow down at the end. I felt it. There's a little retardando there. If you feel it, try it out. You play by feel. Natural accents. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you feel the natural accents as you go through this. Let's play this together very slowly and check the notes and the rhythms. Not going to do the dynamics. I will do the pedaling though. I'll give us 4 counts. But we're going to go really slow. We're not performing it. We're just checking notes and rhythms. 1, 2, ready, go. 4. 4 off. There's a duet for this at the bottom of the page. I'd like to play that. I'm going to speed it up a little bit. Now let's try it together. I need you to go up an octave on the keyboard. So pretend a middle C on the piano rather than here is here. And rather than here, you're up here. Play it up here. Okay. I'll give us 4 counts. 1, 2, ready, go.